Hey guys, halftime Iowa State 14-10 over West Virginia. Welcome to the Cyclone Fanatic halftime show. No Leah Nelson this week. She is hosting an event for us over in Davenport at the Mississippi River Distilling Tap Room. So hope they're all having a good time out in eastern Iowa. My name is Chris Williams. We are in the Wild Rose Casino Studios. We are presented by Iowa Pork, the Iowa Pork Producers Halftime Show, baby. Appreciate them stepping up to the plate and sponsoring Cyclone Fanatic for like a decade now. Just great people at the Iowa Pork Producers. Successful farmers enriched life by pork, baby. I used to be a chicken guy. I'm almost exclusively a pork guy now. God's honest truth. They just got me. My guy Mike Porth hooked me right into it a few years ago. Carl Auto Group as well, and our friends at Central States Roofing. If you're in need of commercial roofing, roof repair, our friends at Central States Roofing, one of the best in the business, locally owned, diehard Cyclone fans. Shout out to those guys for hanging out with us here on the halftime show. 14-10, and I thought it was a really good half of football for Iowa State. Honestly, this defense. Can we give a shout out to this Rylan Barnes, this walk on linebacker by my name? I think he's the fifth string middle linebacker on the team for Iowa State, leads the team in tackles right now. Hadn't been perfect, not always in the right spot, but the son of a gun is playing hard. In there for Cale Brazina. We saw Cale get a few snaps, but the hits at linebacker keep coming. Jacob Ellis is out of the game. I don't think he came back in. And, we're all sitting there, and I tweeted that this is second week in a row where I said Iowa State's going to have to win in the shootout. Defense is too banged up. And then John Haycock's group keeps getting better and better as the game goes on. Still a lot of football left in Morgantown. Let's break it all down. We'll start on the offensive side of the football, and then I'll dig in. Good news here is that the slow-ish starts by the offense, not tonight. Rocco Beck, incredible first quarter. He was 5 of his first 5 for 120 yards, 10 of 14, 71% completion percentage. Really a game that feels like we thought coming into this one, matchup-wise, Iowa State would have a significant advantage with the wide receivers versus the secondary of West Virginia. We really thought that. And it certainly appears to be that to be the case right now. Okay, Mart's saying that Jacob Ellis did come back into the game at some point. So that's good. Thank you very much. We appreciate that update. It's so hard to keep track because Iowa State is playing so many guys at linebacker right now. I love what, if you watch closely, picked up on this in the second half of the Baylor game when a lot of these true freshman types get into the game. John Haycock being very aggressive with them, and I think I know what he's doing. I think he's saying, go get the damn quarterback, right? And in this case, like when Bo Goodwin's out there, he's just giving him the freedom to go so the freshmen, the walk-ons aren't overthinking things out there. You got a really good secondary behind you. You got elite safety play behind you. You got a pretty good defensive line. Not elite, really good defensive line in front of you. Really good players. Go out, don't overthink it. That was what I saw in the second quarter specifically by Iowa State's defense. What I love about the offense here is the aggressiveness and the play calling from Taylor Mauser. I said this last week. Don't want to get too nuts with it. He's only been the OC for 5 games. I think he's the most aggressive play caller I've ever seen at Iowa State in my time. And that was an aggressive first half by Mauser out there. A very balanced one too, right? Like this 14 pass attempts. I don't know exactly. It'll be about 13 runs. So like really, really balanced how they're using the field, which is great. Getting the quarterback involved in the running game. Seeing the same things from the running backs. Carson Hansen, it looks to be his night. 50 yards. Had the long 14-yard run. He had a touchdown run. And we're also seeing, give Abu Sama a little run early. He's not as effective as the other guys. Too much bouncing out, right? While Jackson and Hansen continue to hit the hole and get downfield. But listen, I'm really happy with that half of football in Morgantown, all things considered, right? The way it started, the way you respond, you have a missed field goal. Luckily, so did they. That's a good response there by that Iowa State defense that, again, for the second week in a row, I'm dead wrong sitting there overreacting in the second quarter. Let's look at West Virginia's numbers here real quick. Is the quarterback sitting on 10 of 18 right now. But what I like here is Iowa State, as far as their running backs go, giving up only 3.5 yards per carry. That is skewed when you factor in what the quarterback has done. He's at 5.7. So you're giving up under 3 yards per carry to West Virginia's running backs thus far. Iowa State probably should have had at least one interception in that half, too. I think John Tez would want that one back in the end zone. So this is trending well. I love the fact that Iowa State gets the ball to start the third quarter. And I think that, man, if you could go down there and get up by double digits early on, in this third quarter, I'm not going to say it's over. It's certainly not. But that's when Iowa State can be really good with that defense. And West Virginia's offense just isn't built to come back from big deficits. That's not how they're built. When I think of Neil Brown, I think of Texas Tech. I think of Mike Leach. I think of throwing the football. That's not this team. That's not what this iteration of West Virginia football is. So I think it's not as extreme as Houston was, where they couldn't throw. This guy can throw. They have some wide receivers. But I don't think West Virginia is going to be comfortable at all down 2 scores. So this is kind of the theme we're seeing with this Iowa State defense right now, right? And the other thing, too, I love Rocco Beck being involved in the running game more. You don't want to do it too much because he's so important to the football team. But God, that really gives you a lot of flexibility there. The other quote note that I had taken down, and I said this in the offseason, we're all full of hot takes in the middle of a game. I think Jaden Higgins is the best wide receiver Iowa State's ever had. The play he made to get the first down, I think it was like a 13-yard reception or whatever. He's got, what does he have right now? 5 catches, 75 yards. He's more explosive than Lazard was. He has better hands than Butler did. Maybe throw Blythe into the mix. We can talk about that. I think he's really good. I think he'll be a top 3-round draft pick the way he's playing right now. I don't know. I just wanted to throw that out there. He really, really good half for him. And then, of course, Jalen Knoll with the long touchdown pass. So I feel good. You're still this is a don't screw it up type of half, right? If you can go down there and get up 2 scores right now. Yeah, Xavier Hutchinson, y'all are asking me about him too. I think that, Hutchinson dropped a lot of big passes too, right? He was great, but I would take Higgins. If you're saying, hey, Williams, build a college football team, who would you rather take, Higgins or Hutchinson? I would draft Higgins. Whatever. It doesn't really matter. That's just a note that I took watching him, and I've been thinking about it for a long time, and I'm like, I'll vocalize it here at halftime. But if you can go down and get up by 2 scores here, then it becomes a don't screw it up game. Because, again, I had a feeling coming to this one, and I vocalized this. I said I'd rather this be a higher scoring game than lower. And the reason was because Iowa State is the more comfortable team playing at that pace. West Virginia does not feel comfortable when they are down 2 scores and they have to start putting it in the air. That's when they become turnover prone. And with Iowa State's secondary, that's exactly where we want to get them. So big time to get the ball back here in the third quarter, and let's see what you can do with it. This is, put on your big boy pants right now, boys. Buckle up. Go and get an extra beer for the second half. because the Cyclones are 30 minutes away from being 6-0. But that's a brutal atmosphere out there. The other team's got 85 scholarships too. And Neil Brown's been coaching for his ass for a year and a half now. They will have something for Iowa State. There will be adversity in this second half. All right, let's get after it. I can't even think right now. I'm so freaking nervous. I don't know about you guys. Appreciate you guys signing up in the Wild Rose Casino Studios. We appreciate our friends at the Iowa Pork Producers for being our exclusive title sponsor of Halftime throughout the 2024 Iowa State football season. I will be here right after the game. We're going to hit live right after the game. Come hang out with me here on Cyclone Fanatic.